What's up, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall market. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So, as a reminder, we got CPI, all the numbers were below expectations, but despite that, the market was due to sell off a bit because we pumped so much yesterday. SPY and the QQQ were both up 10 to 12% yesterday. Tesla was up over 22%, so we are due for a small pullback. And now, at this point, the question is, can we hold some key levels? So, as far as Tesla is going, it's very, very simple. If we lose the support right here at 248, that's where the 20 EMA is, we should be expecting this to continue to decline in a harder fashion. So be careful if that ends up failing at 248. Now, we want to see it base between 248 and 252. We did see Tesla test near 250 already, which is exactly what we predicted looking at our key fib levels. So the question is, can we hold and can we get a bounce near this 250 area? If we form a base here, it's possible Tesla tries to rebound and we see a nice bounce attempt to get back up towards 270. But we need to see Tesla hold this just for confirmation. So I'll be watching this for the next couple of hours, right? It may take hours till this truly bounces. So you want to be very patient nonetheless. So that being said, when we zoom in, go to the 5 minutes time frame. What is good about this is that we're trying to form a base right here. So we're trying to form a base. We're not dumping as hard as before. The 250 area is trying to hold for Tesla for now. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. So watch these levels just to be safe, and we'll see if we get that bounce. I am hoping for it, but we'll see just to be safe. I currently don't have a signal for a bounce yet. I'm not seeing confirmation of a pivot yet. So we have to give it more time. But that's what we're seeing so far. On SPY, we're still selling off as well. We have support between 522 and 525. We got to hold this. If 522 fails us, we could be jumping harder back down towards like 518 or even lower than that. So I want to see us hold 522 to 525, and we'll see if we get a rebound move to fill this gap up above, and then to start filling these imbalances above as well. So as of right now, we look bearish. We could be tipping a bit more on SPY, but I want to see if we could hold that range. If 522 fails us, we will be dipping more. And as long as we're above 522 to 525, we could try a pivot soon. It could take many hours, so it's not going to happen immediately. So we have to wait for these signals, be patient, and give this some time to develop. On the QQQ, it's looking weak right now. We're watching 450, then basically this 444 area to see if we could hold in that range. It is possible we don't hold 450, we go a little bit lower. That's going to be completely fine. Like I said before, we're watching to see. I would like to see this close above like 453 for some confirmation. That would be a better sign for a bounce, but we're not quite there yet. So we're still looking bearish, so we could be dipping a bit more. As long as we don't lose like 440, I think we're going to be completely fine. So we could be dipping a bit more towards like 444, but watch and see if we could hold around that 440 area. On the IWM, we're at 182. We're watching to see if we could hold 180. It might be dipping closer to that before we see a pivot. So we'll see if 180 holds. I do anticipate a bit more downside for now. ES is barely at 5,300. If it doesn't hold, we're looking for 5,270 as the resistance becoming support at the 20 EMA. If that fails us, we have 5,250 coming next. So I could see the low 5,300s, if not 5,270, and we'll have to see if we bounce or not. Be careful, guys. We are anticipating a bit more downside, especially as we have this double bottom. So be prepared for a bit more downside, and we'll see if we hold support or not. For now, we're still kind of weak. Same thing with NQ. We're looking for 18,500 to 18,300 as our support zone. We might be dipping towards that, so it might dip a little bit more, and we'll see if we could hold 18,300 or not. If it doesn't hold, we're going to be dipping back down to 18,000 flat, so watch that support to see if it holds. For Bitcoin, we're looking at 80,830 to about 80,000 flats. It might be dipping to the lower 80,000, so we'll see if we rebound off that or not. Look for a bit more downside. Like I said about Tesla, we're also kind of like dipping right over here. As long as 248 does not fill for Tesla, it's going to be fine. If we do lose 248, it could be dipping more, all the way down to like the mid to lower 240s or below. So watch and see 248 to 252 our main support zone to see if Tesla could hold this. As of right now, it's a little bit weak, but we'll give the market some time. Nvidia dumped to about 106, almost exactly where we predicted it would go before we saw some buyers trying to defend it. But it depends. Okay, if we reclaim like 110, it's going to be a better sign. We're stuck between 110 and 106 for now. If 102.8 breaks, we turn bearish. And if we hold above 110, we could try a bounce. So there's potential in this. We'll see just to be safe. Apple dumped all the way down to about 185 or 188. It could be dipping to 185 if it does not hold 188. So there's going to be a risk of some more downside. I would like to see it hold above 190 to bounce. So just be careful. There's going to be that risk of a bit more downside. So just be mindful of that. On Coinbase, we have 166 as our main support zone. If we end up breaking past 175, we could try a rebound, but we're still looking kind of weak here with this double bottom. There's an inverse end shoulders like structure, so you want to be very mindful of this. And there is potential to see a bounce if we get back above 175, but overall, I'm still seeing some weakness. On Amazon, we also have an inverse end shoulders here. We could be tipping towards 180. If it doesn't hold, I'm looking for essentially 175. It might dip a little bit more closer to like 180. We'll see if that holds, but be prepared for that. I still think there could be a big bounce coming for the markets, but as of right now, we're not ready. Meta, it's trying to hold 557. If it doesn't hold, I could be looking for 550, then 541. So watch those two levels. We want to see which ones we hold for the time being. For Microsoft, we're looking for essentially 374 as our target if we can't hold above 378. Then eventually 370 is next. So watch 370 to 374. It might be dipping towards that. We'll see if we bounce or not off that area. We still have kind of like an inverse head and shoulders like pattern that's still developing. And then Google could be dipping towards 156 if that fails. So I'm looking for 153 then 150. The VIX is pushing as predicted. We're at resistance at 40. We'll see if the VIX breaks this or not. So we'll see. For now, market's still kind of weak. We could be tipping a bit more, but like I said before, it's not the end of the world because you have to remember that the market already ran so much yesterday. If you're up 10% on SPY in the QQQ, getting a small tip is not to be a surprise. We did call this out yesterday, and we have to see if it could hold support to bounce. So we'll see if we could hold at 525 to 522 on SPY. If we don't hold 522, we're going to be at risk of dipping towards 517, 515 or below. So be careful. We'll see if we hold support. For now, we're a little bit more bearish, so give this some time to develop. Last but not least, for Tesla, just as a quick reminder, I was looking at the news. I didn't really see anything new that was too significant. So that being said, that's the reason why I'm just focusing on levels. Now I'm just focusing on the chart for the time being. The news cycle should be more interesting once we get to like that May to June period, as we have the unsupervised FSD launch in Texas. Typically, before big events like that, Tesla does like to run as soon as like a month before, at least, sometimes even like 2 months before. So with that being said, we're just waiting to see what happens with Tesla for now, just to see if we could hold support. It's moving with the markets and reacting to data, so keep that in mind. For now, we do look a bit more bearish, look for a small pullback to continue, but we will see if we could hold this support where the green line is at the very least around 248. That's like the lowest I'd like to see it for us to try to bounce. If it doesn't hold, it's going to be at risk of declining more. So I want to see us hold support to see if we can get a nice bounce or not. With that being said, thank you for listening. Have a good one and peace out.